Hey, welcome back to the garden. Let's take a quick look around and then I gotta harvest stuff. Okay, starting with the tomatoes. As you can see, I've fallen behind on pruning things and like that needs to come off. But I have got a lot of tomatoes and after putting the ground up eggshells in, I've stopped for the most part getting end rot. That one's garbage. For the most part, not completely. I have had a huge amount of bird pressure. As you can see, if you look in there, bird ate that, bird ate that. Looks like that one there got pecked by a bird. That's definitely been pecked by a bird. That's pecked by a bird. You can see all of the stuff dropping on the ground that was bird food, basically. Yeah, there's another one. I realize I've got so many more tomatoes have produced this year than last year. I really don't care. Now over at the Thai chilies, we finally have some red peppers. So these I'm going to harvest after recording the video, and they're going to turn into salsa and are likely to show up at a church potluck tomorrow, because it's kind of Mexican themed and good salsa is always good. So, and I do still have, like, if you look in there, I've got a few flowers. I've still got a lot of green peppers. I've still got a huge amount of weeds. Oh, the grass never stops. Okay, enough of that. Like this is going to be extra spicy. Look at all those peppers. I have been getting a lot of rain for the last few weeks. They're not quite as spicy as last year, but they're still up there. Oh, let's get rid of that big long piece of grass. Over here, chili laboyas are starting to turn red. You can see there we got a bunch of red. I don't know what this thing is growing through my pepper, but it seems to be trying to trellis itself onto the support stand for a pepper that doesn't exist anymore. I think I've got some sort of, well, other than all of the weeds, I'm not entirely sure what this is growing through there, but we did have, what was it? Some sort of gourd. Something growing through here that normally gets trellised, and we didn't have a trellis for last year. So I think the volunteers are coming up. That's just a mess. Speaking of volunteers, my volunteer eggplant is continuing to grow eggplants. We harvested one. My wife ate it. Yeah, looks like we're getting a few more. Walk over here to look at the Sloya, the jute, basically. We have been doing a little bit of harvesting off these. They haven't got as tall as last year, but honestly, they taste really good with rice, a little bit of onion, and some of the tomato from over there mixed with these leaves. It's some good stuff. And then, speaking of volunteers, we got another volunteer eggplant putting on some fruit, and I've got grass everywhere. I could spend hours out here just pulling grass. Okay, enough of that. Now this bed here has been planted twice and absolutely nothing has come up. I'm hoping to run a tiller over that and put black beans in it and just see what we get. Hi, neighbors' dogs and goats. Oh, they got the goats penned up. Huh. Anyways, so this is going to get a tiller run over it when I have time and energy. Now, our trellised plants, my wife just put these support stakes in like 2 hours ago. There's this first near me is think that's the bitter gourd, and the second one's string beans. But they're starting to put out these little feelers to grab onto a trellis. And if we look down here, this one is actually grabbed on to the trellis. And this has got a bunch of weeds around it. So let's get rid of the weeds before they cause problems. I think those weeds might actually be tomatoes. No, they aren't. They're just relatives of tomatoes. Yeah, the joys of gardening. If you have half decent soil, you will have weeds everywhere. Okay. Enough of that. Over here, we've got string beans, and they're not quite to the bottom of the trellis yet. They were planted a little offset from the trellis, so they're not right under the trellis, but they're getting bigger. Okay, this one doesn't seem to get a lot of coverage on YouTube because I forget about it, but this is a 3-year-old tree that probably needs to be watered. This is the calamansi tree, and there's something eating there. I'm gonna cut that off later and compost that bug. We're kind of giving up on it, I think. I did prune back a lot of the old dead stuff. By the way, if anyone's wondering why I keep going through lawnmower tires, I've got a huge amount of stuff on this property that does nice big long spikes like that. So thorns and tires don't go together well. Hold on, I'm gonna walk over here because we have had one kind of positive update outside of the garden. Well, actually 2 outside of the garden. And I need to avoid showing this all on camera, so you get to watch my feet while I walk over. Okay. We've got our riding mower finally working again. This went through an oil change plus additional oil being added because I screwed up putting the filter in. Checked the solenoid, that was a pain to get out. Put new gas in, new fuel filter, and then finally had to jump start it twice. And this is working long enough to mow the grass once. And then if we look at the tires, that one's not looking so round. Not sure if the video wants to pick that up, but like tires aren't supposed to be shaped like that. So I am later going to add some of this to the tire and air them up again. Actually going to do both back tires. That's enough for 2 tires, so it's supposed to patch leaks and prevent future leaks. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let me walk back around. Okay, I'm not going to close that yet. Okay, and let's say hi to the chickens because we got a development back with the flock too. Okay, a couple things in progress here. Since I did see a snake get in to basically the run area in the past, I'm working on shoring up the skirting around the chicken coop. Obviously, it's not done yet. Basically just putting that wire around to extend out a couple feet and cover the gaps like in there. that a snake might get through. And then I'm putting those stakes down through to hold everything to the ground. And you can see one of the stakes there, some more over there at the end needs to get hammered out. And let's see if I can. The camera want to focus? No, it doesn't. Okay, we'll do this the hard way. Over here, we've got new nesting boxes. And these slide out. You can grab the handles and they slide out a little. And those are also, in that red plastic, a covered egg collection area. Hi, chickens. So the eggs roll forward into that, and the chickens can't eat their own eggs, which I'm pretty sure was happening. We picked up 2 eggs today. So that's an improvement, because previously we were getting almost no eggs. I've also got them on. Well, hey girl, what are you doing there? Taking a dust bath? I've got them on a mix of layer feed and block feed again. Excuse me? Yeah, her back is still regrowing feathers and is sunburned. That's why her back turns red. Yeah, you're getting sunburned, girl. And I'm going to feed these girls in a minute. Okay, nobody's on my chair. Nobody's pooped in my chair. She is the only chicken that will hop up on her own. She got named Crystal by some kids. Okay, that's kind of enough of the chickens for now. If you're not gardening, you probably should be. I think I've said that a few times. Learn to make your own food. Not to mention that salsa that's coming out is great between the peppers and the tomatoes. A little bit of the onions from last year. It is good. And that's it for this week.